this one surprised me, along with the rest. Everything I've watched up to this point has been a surprise. A slow burn, but a big surprise. Hey legends, welcome along to Here's Rodder's Reviews, the show that loves all things entertainment and shares that love with you. I am your host, Rodney Stewart. Now we're doing the Hammer Horror box set in this episode. So far, we've done, I think 5, 6 movies. Excuse sound outside the studio once again. This movie is called The Witches from 1966, and it stars Joan Fontaine, Kay Walsh, Alec McGowan, Anne Bell, Ingrid Bouting? I'm not sure how you pronounce her second name. John Collin, Michelle Dautrice. Yes, there's a load of people in here. Leonard Rossiter is in it as well. Probably the one person that jumped out to me besides Joan Fontaine. Yes, as with all the Hammer Horror movies so far, this one surprised me, along with the rest. Everything I've watched up to this point has been a surprise. A slow burn, but a big surprise. This one here, pretty much following a horrifying experience with the occult in Africa. A school teacher moves to a small English village only to discover that black magic resides there as well. So it starts off, she gets attacked when she's on this, she's like a school teacher, which is like a missionary sort of a setup. This is just the opening of the film, and they're trying to escape a tribe, and then as people start escaping, she's stuck in this little cabin on her own, and the door busts open, and this cult comes flying in like a crazy witch doctor sort of thing, this massive voodoo type of a mask on him, and she screams, passes out, and then it kind of skips from there to later on, after she's returned to England and she's getting hired to become the head teacher of this school in this small village. The first 20-25 minutes is incredibly slow, but very well done, and building the characters and the town, just the whole setting of where the film's going to take place. It really does build it as a place where she feels that she really fits in. She gets in, she starts teaching the pupils and whatnot, and yes, it just feels completely genuine. And she starts to notice something's weird with one of the girls in her class, and she starts to suspect the grandmother of witchcraft, and she has the hots for another kid in the class. He's gifted, so the headmistress takes him on for extra lessons to try and nurture his skills. Later on, we discover that he has taken sick and rushed to hospital, and we find a doll which he gave his girlfriend, the girl that fancies him. He gave her a doll, she's in the doll, she's always running about with this like blonde Barbie doll sort of thing, and he bought her like a Ken doll sort of setup. Later on we discover that doll full of pins with the head chopped off, stuck up a tree, and of course this here starts her suspecting that witchcraft is involved. Eventually in the film she starts making progress to discover what's going on. There's the person that hired her, him and her sister, like there's something strange about him. He's kind of standoffish and whatnot, but the sister is very supportive of Joan Fontaine's character, and when everything starts to come out, she's given full support that she's going to back her up. She's going to write it. She writes a column in a magazine. She's going to help her get the word out, and everybody needs to find out about this sort of thing. But as the shit hits the fan, so to speak, everything starts to come out. Joan Fontaine's character didn't see this coming. Usually I'm 2 steps ahead in these films. Takes a relapse of what happened to her in Africa at the beginning of the film. She had a complete mental breakdown, and the stress of this does the same, and she wakes up weeks or probably months later in a hospital and no memory of what happened. But eventually it starts to come back. She makes her way back to the village and discovers that, spoilers, that the sister of the guy that hired her to be the head teacher at this school is in fact the head of a cult who is trying to raise Satan to give her longer life. And the only way she can do that there is to sacrifice one of the students. So Joan Fontaine's character gets dragged in to this cult, and like, fully expecting her to get murdered at this point, because we're not that far off the end of the film. But they actually induct her into the cult, and you just have to see where it goes from there. If she's going to side of the cult or try and save the student. That's by far not a fantastic review in this film, I know, but this is one of these ones that is surprisingly good. Really did enjoy this one here. I don't want to spoil it too much for you, don't want to give away the ending for it, and definitely one you're going to have to go and check out for yourself.